Hi everybody and welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the books that are on my 2025 physical TBR. Over the past few weeks, I have acquired quite a few new books. A lot of these I got last week and some I just kind of have had on my physical TBR for a little while now. But these are all books that I want to get to in the spring, kind of going into summer. Hopefully I'll have all of these done by like June. That might be wishful thinking for some of them just because I am a very big mood reader. So if I'm not in the mood for it, I just simply cannot force myself to read it. But without further ado, let's get right into the first book. First up, we have a very anticipated release that I just got this week, and this is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is the second kind of prequel to the Hunger Games. This follows Haymitch's games. It is the 50th anniversary Hunger Games, so it is a quarter quell. I am actually currently reading this. I'm around 60 pages in, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't want to say too much, but basically in this quarter quell, there are double the amount of tributes from each district. If my math is right, there should be 48 tributes total instead of the 24 that there normally is. I don't know much else about what is going on in this before I started it. I just knew that it was about Haymitch, but I am super excited. I hopefully want to get more through this throughout the weekend, but we will see. Next up is another book that I am currently also reading, and this is Kate and Frida by Kim Fay. This book is about two girls who end up exchanging a series of letters back and forth. Kate lives in Seattle and she works for a bookstore, and Frida is currently in Paris and she is wanting to be a journalist. But they basically bond over their love of books and kind of other things throughout. It's described as a novel of friendship, food, and books, and I can definitely say that so far that is the vibe I'm getting. I picked this up without knowing anything about it. I simply saw it on the shelves at Book People and I thought it seemed really pretty cover. I read the inside and I was like, okay, this seems pretty interesting. It actually just came out on March 11th, so it is a new release, and I haven't heard anything about it. I haven't really ever seen anything about the author either. So I was a little bit skeptical, but I saw some good reviews when I did look on Goodreads after I bought it, so I had high hopes. Next up is a fantasy book, and I saw some things about this last year. I put it on my TBR on Goodreads, and I recently saw it at the bookstore, and it kind of just jogged my memory of seeing things about it, and that is Lore of the Wilds by Annalisa Brana. This is described as a library with a deadly enchantment, a Fey Lord who wants in, a human woman willing to risk it all for a taste of power. I believe that there is a love triangle in this, and I think she has to catalog books for the library. I'm not 100% sure. I bought this and then I did look at the Goodreads and the ratings aren't that good, so I'm a little bit skeptical now, but I hope that I still enjoy it. I'm not gonna let other people's opinions potentially sway me, so I'm just going to go into this with an open mind whenever I do read it. Next up is A Wild Side by Elsie Silver. This is the third book in the little Rose Hill series that she has going on. I did not like the first book in this series, which was Wild Love. I just didn't really feel the chemistry between the two characters, but I really enjoyed the second one, which is Wild Eyes. So I have high hopes going into this one. This is a fake marriage, I believe, and it is a wrestler. All of the books in this series are also single dad trope, and they're also enemies. That's all I know about this one, and honestly, Elsie Silver is just an auto-buy author at this point, so I really don't need to know much before I buy one of her books. Next up is Pure Pain, and that is A Little Life. I am scared to read this, but this book is pretty thick, and all I know about it is that it is incredibly sad. I know it follows a group of friends and basically all of the things that they've had to go through in life, and I think continue to go through throughout this book. I've seen just people sobbing when they read this, and I'm planning on reading this with my best friend, so we'll be in the pain together, really. And I've seen so many people say that they cannot recommend this book even though they love it, just purely based off of how painful and sad it is. I don't know how I'm gonna do with this. I typically don't read a lot of sad books, but I've seen so much about this for so long. I simply need to know if I will survive, I guess, really. Next up is Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. This book follows two brothers after their father has recently passed away, and I know that the one brother is also like a chess genius. Any book that has anything to do with chess, not even just books, but any media in general that has anything to do with chess, I automatically love. I'm not really sure why. I know nothing about chess. I don't know how to play, but I just think it is such a fascinating game that I love just consuming any type of media about it. Also, I believe kind of has a love story in it and just kind of compares the two brothers, and I think how they're kind of going about their father's death. But I enjoyed Normal People by Sally Rooney. She does not write with any quotation marks, so it is an interesting reading experience. But I am also looking forward to getting to read this. I did start the audiobook, but I just can't do audiobooks right now, so I'm gonna wait to actually pick this up physically. Next up is You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman. I don't know too much about this. I have seen a lot of love for it on Bookstagram, which is why it piqued my interest. Upon reading the back, it is basically about two high school classmates that are kind of enemies to lovers in their MFA program. I feel like it might give similar vibes as to Not in My Book by Katie Holt. So funny, they're both named Katie, but that book also follows enemies to lovers. They're in an MFA program. So we'll see. I am very excited. I think this cover is also very beautiful as well. So I'm very excited to read this. Next up is The Finders Keepers Library by Annie Raines. I actually got this book in a blind date with a book at a local bookstore recently. I believe it is about this gardener that has to help kind of rebuild this little free library that got destroyed with the help of her maybe grumpy neighbor. I think he's grumpy. I have not seen anything about this, so I'm very interested to see if I like it. The cover is interesting. Not typically something I would pick off the shelf, but I guess this is a good opportunity for me to not judge a book by its cover, since I did get it in a blind date with a book. Next up is Homefront by Kirsten Hanna. This is actually one of the Kirsten Hanna books I haven't really heard anything about. I saw it at Target and decided it would be a fun book for my mom and I to buddy read. It basically follows this marriage between Jolene and Michael. Jolene gets deployed, so she has to leave Michael and her son at home, and I think it just follows the kind of progression of how that happens and how it's affecting the family. Honestly, when I picked this up, I was watching a lot of NCIS, so maybe that's why the kind of like military aspect intrigued me. I typically have only read so far Kirsten Hanna's more historical books, so I'm interested to see how this one with a little bit more of a modern take will go over. Very interested to see how it goes. Next up is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I am so excited to read this. I have seen so many good things about it, especially with the third book coming out recently. This book basically follows our main female character, and she is away at college, and I believe that while she is there, she starts to see these sort of demons or ghosts, creature things. And with that, she gets inducted into this kind of secret society where they fight the creatures. That is strictly all I know about it, and I really don't want to know too much else, but when I go into this, I want to go into it pretty blind and just kind of have an open mind. I have seen so much love for this, so I don't want to have my expectations too high in case it doesn't live up to the hype, but I'm sure it will. Next up is actually a box set. I saw this on Amazon and it was on sale, and I have seen a lot of love for this series. I actually believe I bought the first book in this series years ago when I was like trying, like after I stopped reading for a while, and I tried to get back into reading and I just couldn't because I think I was just trying to read fantasy only, and I just don't think that was the genre for me to get back into. But now the covers are different. That is an Ember in the Ashes series. I am so excited to pick these up. Also, the covers and the spines are absolutely stunning. Every time I see somebody post like their bookshelves with these on it, I just am awed at how just gorgeous these spines are. I'm gonna be really honest with you right now. I have no idea what this is about. I believe something to do with her brother, something to do with fighting in a war. Yeah, so it is basically about our main female character who is a slave. Her brother gets arrested for treason, and she basically meets this soldier. She has to decide if she wants to join the rebels. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I know. That's basically all Goodreads told me. There are a few books in the spring that I want to reread as well, that mostly being Magnolia Parks. Sorry about the sun. I'm honestly itching for a reread of Magnolia Parks, so honestly, I'll probably pick it up sometime soon, even though I should really focus on the books I haven't read. There's just something about rereading recently that is just doing it for me. And I also am tempted to reread Carrie Soto is Back. We'll see, that's not a high priority, but it is somewhere in there, potentially, that I want to reread. And of course, there are a lot of new releases coming out in the next couple of months that I'm looking forward to, but I don't have them, so they're not technically on my physical TBR. That is all of the books that are on my physical TBR for this spring. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you've read any of these. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!